I was like the exact fucking text.
It was probably pretty bad.
And so I was like, fuck. And then I don't know if you know, he texted a bunch of people that he looked up to all got the same. Then the heckler was off. And I was reading it. Right before I got on. You're going so much. They stopped the show. They escorted him out. And then now they're like, anyways, you got another guy coming. I was like, are you fucking? So I pull up, and in my mind, I was like, oh, you know, I recorded the whole thing. It was a great time.
Yeah.
2 days later.
You recorded the heckler moment.
Yes,
Okay.
everything from the beginning to me performing everything. I'm at a house party.
Right, this is getting let's keep
I'm at a party.
Act 2. At a house party. All right.
Do you that song? I like me better. The artist there is like, oh, I gotta go compliment him. I love his work.
Wow.
I go to him. I was like, yo, bro, I love your work.
I love your work.
He's the heckler. He's the heckler.
Shut the fuck up.
Wait, that was a good
I thought
story.
it was wordy, Shane. I thought it was wordy, Shane. While talking about heckling. You just fucking heckled me. I'm fucking done. Wait. Loud.
No.
Wait, was he actually?
That's actually.
Wait, was he actually the heckler?
It must have been like a
Well, do you want to hear the rest of the story now? So I went up to him and I said, "Hey, I love your work." He goes, "Oh, what do you do?" I go, "I'm a stand-up comedian." He goes, "Oh, I just went to a stand-up show and they kicked me out." I go, "Hold the fuck on."
Wow.
When was this? He goes, 2 days ago. I go, "Laugh Factory?" And he goes, "Yup." I go, "Motherfucker, you ruined my first time." Oh my God.
Wow. And you have it on film too.
Everything.
That's
I
unbelievable.
thought it was wordy though.
That's I'm gonna let you open for me next time.
Yeah.
Now you're out there with GoPro. That's awesome. That is a good story.
Dude, censorship,
Censorship.
bro.
I just did
Worries.
Chappelle's summer camp last year, and it was like,
Oh, you went to Ohio?
yeah, I mean, I know Dave since when I was in New York City, '93. I was like whatever, 19, and there was like, I was doing early gigs since like fucking. So I kind of put Dave. Dave is Dave, and he's a again, let's talk about like coming from his truth and coming from a place that's like it, don't like it, whatever. Like his unique perspective on things and the humanity that he tries to put into those things. It's really amazing. He's awesome.
Wait, hold on.
No,
I just want to pin the sentence.
Yeah.
Real quick, because you went to Yellow Springs,
Yes.
Ohio, to perform while Dave was doing his thing during COVID, right?
During whatever at the end. Yeah, last year.
I'm-
Not this summer. Last year.
So I'm curious how this works because, like, I remember thinking at one point, like, what's Dave Chappelle doing?
Yeah.
And then he was gracious enough to invite me to set of his and the premiere of the movie that he was making.
Right.
Then I remember thinking, oh my God, this motherfucker wasn't not doing anything. He was doing something that had never been done before.
course.
He was putting on shows in his backyard in Yellow Springs, Ohio, in a cornfield.
really trashed.
It got hammered.
Amazing.
No, but the film was amazing.
Yeah.
Was your experience out there like? Did it feel revitalizing to once
It did.
again perform again in front of a crowd? Because COVID killed everything, especially for comedians.
It did. It's and Dave and everybody said like this is gonna be really unique. What you're, and I kind of was like, okay, I get it. But then you get down there and it really felt like being in camp or something. It was what he set up down there and the shows he was putting on. I could never experience anything like it. Even if I do it again, that first time of being there and being like that. But sharing the stage with Dave, who, dude, check this out. I'm doing early gigs with, I'll make this, it's a long story, very quick. We're doing college gigs together, like we're kids. And we used to go back to back. Back then, I'm naturally energetic. I get fucking excited when I'm on stage, but back then, I would do anything for a laugh. And so I'd go up there and I'd fucking massive. I'd just be out there just like sweating. Dave would go out, and Dave was there. Dave was kind of like, he'd go up and he'd go, man. Someone come here. And you think for a little bit, and now he's chill, let's keep going. And we're backstage, and I said, Dave, I gotta know, man, I'm still learning. I feel like I'm still, I have so much to learn. How are you doing this? Sometimes you're following me instantly, you're just getting him and killing. And Dave Chappelle, as a kid, looked at me and he said, the power is in the silence, man. Powers in the silence. He was just, he's Dave. He operates on a whole different mentality and level, and that's why he's the GOAT.
I love that sentence, though. There's so much power. If you can get comfortable with silence, Jeff, my manager, is sitting over there. He taught me. So what is it? It's if someone asks you, anyone can ask you a question, but that doesn't mean you have to answer, right? And especially when you're doing any sort of press, any interviews, anything, if you can get comfortable just chilling, massive impact in that.
True.
Are you worried, on his point, about things you're saying? Are you worried about being canceled? Censorship now, and especially for comedians, is becoming more and more prominent.
No, because I think that it's incumbent to, you want to keep your integrity, but you also want to do one thing. Observe and report from your experience. If it happened to you, if it happened from you, you can talk about it. Anything. But if you're trying to tell somebody else's story, that era of stand-up comedy is over. And it actually should, because it's pretty ignorant. Nobody should be speaking on somebody else's story for the sake of getting laughs off it. I've done that. I'm a storyteller. Even all the way back to Vicious Circle, like when I did the crying bit, it's to this day the bit that I can't go a day without somebody writing me about it, because when somebody has a bad day and they're crying, my mom was behind when I wrote that. My mom couldn't do the show I ever did in Boston. That night when that bit, my mom was in Florida, in Delray Beach. She couldn't make it to Boston. So I did everything I had. It was funny around it, but like I was really feeling it. I was really missing my mom. Got on a flight the next morning, brought her, show her. This is to be able to what you experience, you can do whatever, say whatever you want. Like anybody can ever put anything at all on you. And if they try to, it's just them, man. It's just experience and projecting. Has what other people has nothing to do with you. So then you won't worry about being canceled or censored. So people have things to say and think it's garbage, but you're never going to wear it. I'm doing what I know is my life. I'm talking about my life. So
Logic said
I was just gonna say
the same thing yesterday.
literally the exact same thing. We had Logic was using a word that someone called him, and I said, I'm just reporting what happened. I'm not making a story. I'm not using it as a slur. I'm just saying what happened. And so
there's going to be vernacular, jargon, there's going to be things that you say. There's always going to be something that people are going to find fault with. It's once you're a known comic, once you're known anything, then you have just opened yourself up to a realm of people that are, there's more people that are not going to be into what you do. They just are going to be having to hear from their friends or whoever, like, I'm into this person. And then now you've got sometimes, two people that like you, or one person's like, I'm not into it. So, yeah, you're always going to come in and out of favor, I guess. But as long as your integrity's intact, then unless you're like a political comic and you're like, I want to get out there and make statements about it, then you've got to expect that, your job is to
be critiqued.
Yeah. I might be, what is that called? Like, criticized about some of my statements, but if that's the kind of comic you want to be, then all right, I lose half the audience, I gain a new audience. That otherwise, just do your thing.
When you were on this run and you're pursuing your career in form of media and entertainment, and you would do a set and show your parents, what you did. Did they find it funny? Did they understand what you were building? Or because I remember when I would show my parents some of my videos, that it's like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
you rode a bike
that-
off of.
But that's it, right? It's just there's no beyond like okay, like that's essentially what they said.
Right.
Did you have that, or were they more in tune with what was
Sometimes,
going on?
sometimes you wanted them to be in tune and be like, I like that. And then sometimes you knew like they're the exact audience that I want to get the opposite reaction because I know that my generation would be like, I'm into it. So there were certain pieces that were. Okay, that's listen, I don't want to be milquetoast, but you definitely don't start becoming like, okay, I'm kind of like easily placed. You don't want to be that. You definitely want to have some costume friction. You want to get up there and fire. It should be a little dangerous, right? But it doesn't have to be.
It's just, so many people crave acceptance from their parents, and I think a lot of people make decisions. Young people make decisions about what they want to be in their life. They do what their parents want. I've never ever been a fan of that, but unfortunately, like the society they've called that people.
Yeah, I think I only know that my experience once I made sure that I said I'm not taking this halfway. I'm gonna do this. Take this on for my generation. Only they knew about it really, and it was just talking. My dad would call me. I don't know about yours, but like my dad would say things like, "Dream it," he'd be like, "I'm gonna put a gate stand. I'm gonna have two corners because then I get cross traffic." And my dad would, and he'd open the front door and he'd look outside and he'd go, "I don't see it. I don't see it." I'm saying until I see it, I don't really. So you better. Most of your days, share with Papa, maybe somebody that you love, but don't dispel the energy by people that really don't have your. They may care about you, but nobody knows your passion but you. So if you start telling everybody your passion and everybody has a piece of that passion, you're lowering that fuel. You need some fire inside you that some people don't. Oh, I got it.
Dude, he's got so many gems, like
Yeah.
Dude, jam drop.
Gems that are now dropping others, right? It's like, I think probably was it after 38 you started to pull together all these wonderful bite-sized nuggets to drop based on the things that you want to do. Like, what was like the point where you were like, oh, I know some shit?
I just wanted to be. I wanted to grow into an introspective person. And if I was going to be an introspective person, I knew that I had to be willing to share my failures, but also I'll tell you about the worst moment. I can tell you the rock bottom moments, and I can share them even. Don't be so fucking fast to get out and get out.
Bubble 6 going off.
Small things to fuck up sometimes because that's the building blocks for the stuff later. So I'll talk about that, but I also I don't know how you guys feel about this. Like, that's when this time where it's like, can anybody celebrate this? I got this, and it's okay to be like, look, I'm fucking special right now. I'm fucking winning right now. And now that I hate everybody. I feel really honest. Every once in a while, you have to be able to say, I got it. I'm the person you want to fucking vote for. Hand me the baton. I'm winning. Follow me. Why? Because I told you when I fucked up and failed and fell down. And I told you that. Now I'm telling you. If I would not are you? And he knew I wouldn't call him if I didn't think that I had something that I was really share some failures, but some high water moments. So embrace the things that you know you're afraid of. Don't be afraid of. It's a little cocksure once in a while. Be like, dude, I got a swagger. You don't have to live in it like that. Don't be like, it's like nobody wants to be on it. But once in a while, you gotta be able to fucking puff your chest out. Be like, I got this.
Kanye.
You know?
Be Kanye.
I don't know about Kanye.
But that
Like taking his class.
that message you're giving about Rock Bottom.
Switch just got a win, a solo too.
Biggest catalyst in my life were the moments where my back was against the wall. Nothing was more creative, nothing was more motivational, nothing pushed me to actually fucking create and move and
Truly, it's like you go back in time, you have a moment to adjust something here or there. Nothing.
every time.
Nothing's ever fallen apart, only ever fallen apart. I lost both my parents to cancer in the same year. I watched both my mom and dad in the same year get sick of fucking thing that I and being a man and showing up and loyalty. And I learned about the person I didn't want to be anymore too, which was I was kind of a fuck up. I wasn't always the person that you could rely on. I wasn't always the best in my relationships. I got selfish. I did things that was just like for,